Good morning. It is Monday. Already another Monday. It is April the 6th, and I'm so happy to be able to make this video for you. Right now, I'm going to go over the new packet that everybody should have received either through mail or email or pickup. Hopefully it is not too overwhelming. Miss Russell did a great job of making it organized and putting it all in order for us. The first thing you see is the yellow letter for Miss Tracy. And then the next thing is the letter from Miss Pam, Miss Russell, and I. Mine look a little different because it is a half page. That's how I printed it. That's why they look really small. On this page, it just kind of has a rundown of everything that's in the packet. Has some ideas of things you can do at home that are not worksheet related. And then also here at the bottom, it has those 3 websites again. We really encourage you and your child to hop on Raz. You can do that on a computer, on a phone, an iPad, a Chromebook, anything that you have, if you have it available. And that just gives them that daily practice of reading. This is something that your child has done in the classroom on a regular basis, and it just kind of gives that home school feel. The first thing I did when I got the packet, if you look, the very first page are these reading response, and they were labeled week 3, day 1, week 3, day 2. The first thing I did was cut them apart. That way, when I separated out the days, I could have day 1 and day 2. All right, so then I have all of day 1 right here. And then what I did is I just took day 1, week 3, day 1, which is this week. Week 3 is this week, our 3rd week of packet work. And I laid it down on my table. And then I got all of day 2, week 3, day 2, right here. And I kind of sandwiched them. If you have file folders, if you have paper clips, whatever it is to make it easy for you. You can do this work as a family, or if you have a child that is quite independent, which most of our little kindergartners are, or you're working on independence, you can, say, go get day 1's work and, bring me what you want to work on and let's work on it together, or you could let them try to work on it themselves. I went ahead and separated out week 4, and we're not going to worry about this week. This is just all of week 4. I'm going to set it aside, and we're going to choose to do that either next week, which is spring break. You're not required to do anything over spring break, or you can do it the next week, the week after spring break. As far as videos are concerned, I might go ahead and continue to do some videos over spring break just to give me something to do and to give you and your child something different to do. But, it's spring break. If you want to, hopefully the weather's pretty, we can play outside every day. Okay, so on this first one, I'm not going to go over every page. I'm just going to kind of hit the high spots. This is a reading response. It says, draw a picture of your favorite part of the book and write a sentence about it. This can be any book that you read. It can be a book you read as a family. It can be a book you read on Raz. It can be a book that either me or one of the guest readers have read on our YouTube channel. Just make sure when you draw your picture, you add details so we know what part of the book it is. And then you can write either 1 or 2 sentences about what is going on in that part of the story. Monday through Thursday, we have one of these reading reviews. They're all kind of similar. They work on the same skills. There's directions on the top of every little square. Just make sure, like on this one, it says write in the family word app. Make sure when you're writing app and sounding out this word that you're writing them with lowercase letters. We want to keep that practice of capital letters when we're supposed to have capital letters, lowercase letters when we're supposed to have lowercase letters. And I think every single day has a sentence. And so make sure when you're writing that sentence that you're using your very best handwriting, capital letters, spaces, and end mark. Something, if at all possible, if you could please do your work in a pencil, that way your child gets, continues to be used to writing with a pencil, and if they make a mistake, they can erase it. All right, so there's the math page. Every day has a reading, a math, a writing, a science, and a social studies. Some days have a reading response, some days do not. So those are those things, the reading response ones. If on Monday or day 1 of your week, you don't have time to get to it, or your kid's like, no, I don't want to do that. Maybe you can move that to Thursday or Friday when it's not as much work. This is a story. Write a story about your best friend. So what I would do up here is maybe draw a picture of you and your best friend and put details in the picture that match the story. Don't forget to check these boxes when you're done to make sure you have your capital letters, your spaces, your end marks, and that your sight words are spelled correctly. All right, so new to this packet is social studies and science. For social studies, we're looking at map skills, parts of a map, reading a map, just kind of something we touched on before we stopped going to school. This is something that you would do with a grown-up so they could help you with the directions and help you read the words. But if you want to try to read the words, or maybe something else you could do is go through and circle the sight words, circle the words that have sneaky E's, circle the words that have, you know, any of those little spelling patterns that we've been working on. This is science. In science, we have just kind of a Mod Podge of review and some new. This one's landforms. We have some on rocks. That would be a fun one to do. Go outside, find some rocks, make some observations. We have some on plants. It is spring. Plants are in bloom. I know my neighbors, the people that I can see their houses, they have beautiful flowers. I know a lot of y'all have some gardens going on. So that would be something fun for you to do along with these worksheets, is to watch things grow and see how that works. Now we're on to day 2. So that's not that much. It looks like a lot, but it really doesn't take a lot of time. Another reading response, another one of the daily math reviews. Now on this one, it is just practicing addition. So what you can do is you cut out the fish and then you build the addition sentences with the fish. So this first one is 4 plus 0. So you would cut your fish out, color them if you want to, and you would have your 4 fish, and then you would add 0 and see how many fish you have. The next one is 1 plus 4. So you would start with 1 fish and then add 4 more fish and then count to see how many fish you have in all. All right, so writing on this day is just handwriting. It's practicing your handwriting for your numbers 0 through 20. Remember in a video I made a few weeks ago, I talked about when you're writing numbers, you put a space between your numbers. Like you write 0, space, 1, space. And then when you get to like 10, you would write your 1, 0, then make sure you have a good finger space. Then you would write your 1, 1 for 11 and make sure you have a good finger space. This should have plenty of room to write all 20 numbers. If you have room at the bottom, you can start over until you run out of space. This is just another map skills. This is about a globe. It tells us a little information about the globe. And then these few little questions are to see what you learned. If you have extra time, you could go through and find sight words that you know. You could find sneaky E words, long E words, digraphs, blends, the whole 9 yards. Living and non-living. This is something super fun you could do outside on a pretty day. The first thing you're going to do, look at the pictures and you're going to write the words that are living, like you would write this word snake, and then non-living. An extra thing you could do is go outside, take an adventure in your yard and find things that are living, find things that are non-living. Now we're on to day 3. Okay, it's kind of more of the same. This one is the rock scavenger hunt. Hopefully it's going to be a pretty day. And you're going to find rocks with all these different attributes. If you can see, it's just a lot of review, a lot of practicing things that we have worked on. That's what kindergarten is about, is practicing those basic skills. Here's some more finding rocks. On this page, we're talking about the attributes of a rock, whether they're bumpy, smooth, spotted. So this would be something you would go outside, find you a really pretty rock or two, and talk about them. Use good vocabulary words and talk about how they feel, how they look, how heavy are they? Are they heavy? Are they light, small, big, bumpy, smooth? The whole thing. This is a review of subtraction. Remember, when we do subtraction, we take away. We start with the whole number and we subtract the second number and see how many are left. Okay, so that's pretty much it for week 1. I will go through week 2 at the beginning of next week. I know it's spring break, but just that way we can have it out, or I might make it one day this week so you can save it for later. If you have any questions, text me or your teacher and we will help you out with anything we can. We miss you a lot. Don't forget to get outside, play, explore, move. And I just hope we're having fun.